Where are we fishing today? Kettletown Brook. All right, guys, we got one. I'll tell you what, guys, we're carrying them up here. There we go. What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Connecticut Angler. It is an absolutely sizzling day here in March. Wait, it's 24 degrees. Damn. Okay, it is an absolutely freezing day here in March. But you know what, guys? I don't care. I can deal with some freezing temperatures as long as we come away from the river with a couple trout today. Which brings us to the obvious question. Where are we fishing today? And that would be Kettletown Brook in New Haven County, Connecticut. Now, I have never fished Kettletown Brook before. I have done some landscape photography here, so I'm kind of vaguely familiar with the stream. But like I said, never have even tried to fish here, much less caught a fish. This seems to me like kind of a strange fishery. Kettletown Brook in this section of the stream flows right into the Housatonic River. The area that is stocked by the state is something like, I don't know, maybe like just a half mile long. And I would have to imagine that you don't get all that deep into trout season before most of these fish have made their way down to the Housatonic, and Kettletown Brook more or less empties out. So I'm thinking that this is probably an early season fishery, and that's why it seemed like a good fit for a March video here on the channel. But let's cut the talking for now. I'm gonna get suited up here, get my waders and everything on, and I will meet up with you guys again once we get down to the water. All right, guys. Well, we are down at the water here, and this is sort of the, well, I mean, I guess it kind of looks like a pond, but really it's more of a cove on the Housatonic. And this is the cove that Kettletown Brook ultimately dumps into, and presumably the cove that all of the trout stocked in Kettletown Brook eventually filter on down through and use as their corridor to the Housatonic. We actually had some fairly warm weather over the last couple weeks, which melted a great deal of the ice on this pond, but as I mentioned earlier, it is pretty damn cold here once again, and you can actually see there's ice forming on this lake anew. Hopefully, with it being March and with April on the way, this ice will be short-lived. But that's really neither here nor there, because we are not fishing still water today. We are fishing the brook. And so I'm excited to see what it looks like here. I haven't actually even set eyes on this brook in a number of years now. So it's going to be interesting to see what we find. I'll quickly go over what I'm using here. I'm starting off today with kind of a small streamer, just because it's cold enough that I don't really expect that there's going to be any real insect activity or anything. I'm going to be working it on my, what is this, 7.5 foot 3-weight, I think? 7.5 foot? I think it's 7.5 foot. I don't know that there's much more to say than that, so let's just hit the water. All right, guys, well, we have some awfully shallow water here. I'm not too confident that I'm going to bump into any fish in water that's this shallow, especially when it's this cold. But you never really do know. It's worth making a couple exploratory casts, at least in the beginning here, and just kind of getting an idea of what these fish may or may not be doing right now. It's really anybody's guess. I do think I'm going to attach just a little split shot above the streamer here. It's already kind of a small streamer to begin with, so there's not a whole lot of weight tied into it. With it being cold like this, these fish certainly aren't going to be cruising around all over the water column, excitedly grabbing whatever I throw at them. I'm still going to want to really try to focus my efforts towards the bottom of the water column. All right, we've got another plunge pool up here. Looks like a slightly larger plunge pool, actually. Oh, quite a bit larger. Unfortunately, we have this big log over the plunge pool, which is going to mean I kind of have to break this pool up into two sections. The area that I can fish downstream of that log and the area that I can fish upstream of it. Now I can see kind of right into the bottom here. You guys probably can't see it on camera, but this area right here is like a pit that's maybe 2 feet deep. Not a single fish in there. I can only hope that they're up elsewhere in this pool. All right, nothing in the lower half of that pool. Now I'm going to try some of the water both below and up above this big log here. Again, this water is crystal clear. So I do have to take a little bit of caution not to just kind of walk up on my target area here. Oh, we got another nice plunge pool up here. Oh yeah, this is a really nice looking plunge pool. Some real depth to this pool. Not a whole lot of pushy current. This is undoubtedly the most promising spot I've come to yet. I don't want to encroach too close on the pool here. And I'm going to kind of pick this pool apart. Really letting it sink down before I impart any movement, just to make sure I'm in the lower portion of the water column. We got a fish? We got a fish! Alright guys, we got one! Alright! Okay, alright. Take the net out here. What do we got? Brown. All right, not bad. Oh, net fumble. Hope I don't end up losing the fish as a result of that. All right, we got him, guys. Excellent, just excellent. Now, as I mentioned, it's very cold right now. This fish's gills could freeze quite easily if we took him out of the water, which is why we're not going to do that. We're going to get him unhooked and get him right back into this pool so somebody else can enjoy catching him some other day. All right, guys, I can't argue with that. I mean, leading it off pretty quick. I've only been fishing for maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes so far. We've already gotten into our first fish. Really, really awesome. Now, I have to say, my hand is just frozen from handling that fish under the water, but it's very, very important when you're fishing in these conditions well below freezing that you really don't take the fish out of the water unless for some reason you absolutely have to. Point being is, if you can leave them in the water and not expose their gills to this freezing air, fish has a much better chance of living and remaining healthy to continue to be caught. But yeah, I'm going to warm up my hand a little bit here, and then we're going to toss the streamer right back out in the pool and see what we could do. Maybe we can get a couple more fish out of here. That would be awesome. Oh gosh, so damn cold. I'm gonna let it sink down again because we got that last hit. We got that first fish pretty close to the bottom. We got one. Got one. Nice. Oh, he got off. Damn. Damn. Ooh, could they be stacked up in here? It's certainly a possibility. Did I just have another hit? I don't know if I'm getting snagged in some of these cases or if these are fish. To really let it sink down. Oh, Lord, something grabbed it and actually ran with it. Wow. Okay. Something is grabbing it and running with it, and then quite quickly dropping it. I cannot believe the aggression with which something is picking this up. Casting right up towards the base of that waterfall now. Again, though, letting it sink before I impart any action. You know, there's not a whole lot of... Oh my gosh, guys. The tip of my hook broke off. This is why I've been missing fish out there. I can't believe that happened. What? How does that even happen? That is ridiculous. Oh man, that's why I've been missing fish. Obviously, I'm going to need to change out to a different streamer here. Now, I was fishing kind of a smaller streamer earlier, and I'm going to stick with a streamer roughly that size, but this one I have tied on a hook with a much larger gap. Let's see what we can do now that we actually have a hook on here. Guys, boy, this fish took it and ran. Wow. Let's see what we got here. Looks like another brown, maybe. Yeah, a little bit bigger than the last one. Gonna have to take this glove off. Ah, shoot. Okay. Alright guys, another brown. Awesome. Awesome. And this fish took very, very aggressively. Oh, can't go wrong with that, guys. Another brown. Pretty short order as soon as we had a functioning hook back on there. Alright, let's let this guy go. Get him right back in the water. Yeah, these fish are very, very sluggish. Alright guys, got two browns here at this pool. I'm really curious to see if it was just that one brown that was down there just running with that first streamer that I had tied on, and I just couldn't hook him because the hook was broken, and he just finally had his opportunity there, or if we have some more fish stacked up in this pool. It's going to be very interesting to see, and the only way to find out is to get the streamer back out there. But boy, I'll tell you what, oh gosh, my hand is so cold right now, guys. Excellent. All right. What do we got here? We got another brown. All right, guys. Oh yeah, he's right back out there. All right, guys. 3 browns. And I don't know. I'm kind of thinking there's got to be some more in there. I mean, there's already 3, right? Now, I mean, if some of you guys are wondering, yeah, these are definitely stocked fish. I mean, there's no question about it. So, you know, is there a whole abundance of skill involved in catching these fish? No, not really. But, I mean, you'd be kidding yourself if you were to try to say it's not a blast to catch them nonetheless. It is still really, really fun. So let me get the streamer back out here. Let's see what else we could do. Again, I'm still trying to let my hands warm up, so I think I'm going to shy away from any more of the cool B-roll of these fish, at least for a little while, until my hand isn't quite so numb. But they seem to be liking this streamer, so let's give it right back to them. Yeah, got one, guys. All right, let's let this fish go. Little guy. Got another, guys. Got another brown here, I think. All right. Well, I mean, obviously we're just hammering on these stocker browns. So I gotta change something up because I feel like I could throw the streamer back out there again and have another fish within a minute or two. So let's at least try to change something up now. I'm gonna switch it over to a nymph rig and we'll see if we can get a couple fish to maybe take a pheasant tail. Let's give that a shot. All right, guys, let's see what we can do. Got one. All right. Nice. All right, guys. Well, this fish already kicked an nymph. He trout on that flashback pheasant tail. And we're gonna get him right back in the water. I'll tell you what, guys, we're carrying him up here. You know, maybe I'll catch a couple more out of this pool, but I don't want to beat on the fish in this pool too much more. So, like I said, a couple more out of this pool, maybe. I mean, if we're lucky, maybe I'm getting presumptuous. But a couple more out of this pool, and then we're gonna start heading upstream to see where else we can maybe find some of these fish. Oh. Holding my line there. My hand is once again quite numb. Another one. Jesus. Good Lord. Oh, is this a brookie? Oh, it's a brookie. All right, cool. Beautiful little brookie here. You know, these fish are really gorgeous, whether they come from a hatchery or not. They're still beautiful, beautiful fish. And always such a pleasure to catch. Well, guys, it'd be pretty cool if I could get a trifecta out of this pool, nab a little rainbow. I'm gonna drop this down, maybe another 7 or 8 inches. See if that makes a difference. Got one. We got another fish here. Got another one here, guys. Another brown. Oh, we got our rainbow. Oh, is it a rainbow? Yes, it is. All right. All right, guys. Look at that. We got our trifecta out of this pool. It took a very long time, but we finally got ourselves a rainbow to complete the cycle there. Not bad, guys. Not bad. All right. Well, let's not keep this fish any longer than we need to. We're going to get him right back in that pool. And he was eager to go. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to keep on beating up the fish in this pool, although I'm sure we could probably catch a couple dozen more. It would not surprise me in the least bit. But you know, like I had mentioned, I had actually never fished this brook before, so rather than just sit here and continuously keep on hooking these stockers, I want to at least head on upstream and see if we can find any more areas where we can bump into some fish and mix it up a little bit, right? So let's leave this pool behind and move onward. You know, it's so funny, guys. So this was the pool where I've been catching all of those fish. I mean, staring into it right now, the water is very clear, as I mentioned earlier. There's a lot of ripples in the water because of the waterfall coming in. But, you know, I kind of have a hazy view of what's going on in this pool. And honest to God, I cannot see a single fish. I would not be able to make out the shape of a single fish down there. And for the quantity that must be stacked up, it's just pretty wild how well they're able to blend into their environment. I don't really know what the temperature is right now, but it has at least warmed up enough where I'm able to keep my gloves off without my hands getting numb, which is nice. Yeah, it looks like there's some really nice pockets down along here, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm just not going to try to climb down that gorge right now. Just not going to happen. Onward. Ah, man, but we got another nice, oh, look at this. There's a trail right here. How cool. And we got a nice plunge pool down here at the bottom of this cascade. Let's see if we can find anything out here. Okay. Wow, look at that. What a beautiful looking spot. Let's see what we can do. I've still got the pheasant tail on here. Let's get to it. Got one, guys. Got one. All right. Took that pheasant tail. Let's get this guy. Oop, we got the log over here. He almost ran me under it. Let's get down in the water here. Make it a little easier to work with this fish. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Got ourselves another brown here. I don't think it's above freezing yet. He's already kicked the nymph, so we're just gonna get him right back in. Nice little brown. Let's see what else we can find in this gorge here. Got one. All right. Another brown? Guys, I mean, this is fun as hell. It really, really is. It is so fun. Got him. All right. Getting it right up at the head of the pool there so we get a nice long drift. There we go. Got another fish here. Another one. All right, guys, I think I've gotten my fill at this pool, so let's continue on upstream here and see what else we can find. Okay, we've got a shallower pool over here, and I actually have a visual on one fish that's holding in front of this rock over here. It'd be really cool if I could nab him. He's in very shallow water, and I have been fishing up to this point in water that was in pools that were quite deep. So I'm going to move my indicator quite a ways down here. We're running this about 2 feet deep now. Same flashback pheasant tail that I put on earlier. This water's moving quite a bit faster through this pool. Nope. On that first drift. Oh, we're back in that fast water there again. Nice fish. Nice fish. That fish actually, he saw it, and I thought he passed it up. But then he turned back around and chased it downstream a little ways. It's a rainbow. It's the nicest fish of the day, I would say, thus far. Not huge by any means, but the nicest one of the day. Beautiful rainbow. Really cool. I like that we got a little bit more size in this one. Kind of breaking from the cookie cutter, kind of like 12 to 14 inches we've gotten so far. This is probably a good 15 or so, but also beefy for its length. All right, guys, not bad. Getting some size here now. Pretty damn cool. It just seems like pool after pool after pool, we are bumping into some of these fish. What a blast, guys. What a blast. There we go. All right. We're gonna let this guy just pop himself right off, and I'm gonna net him. With a nice brown. You know, guys, I'll tell you what. If there's something that can certainly be said for Kettletown Brook, it's that this stream is just beautiful. I mean, it's some small water. This is a pretty small stream, but it just tumbles exuberantly down through this rocky gorge, over cascade after cascade, waterfalls, white water. It's just beautiful, guys. It really is. What a fantastic place to come and catch a couple trout. I'll tell you what. And speaking of a couple trout, I have a feeling that this pool up here is going to be another place where we can probably catch a couple. Oh, got one. All right. Okay, there we go. I'll tell you what, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Between the fish that you've seen me hook and all the ones that have undoubtedly cut out just for the sake of brevity and keeping this video to a reasonable length, I am kind of getting to that point now where I feel like I've caught almost as much as I could possibly want to. I think my upstream journey here on Kettletown Brook has come to a close, but I'm not ready to finish just yet. I think I'd like to get another fish or two if I can. And there were a couple pools I skipped on the way up because I started to notice that there were some other folks out in the water here. So on my way back downstream, moving in the direction of my truck, I'll see if some of those pools haven't opened up, and maybe we'll give them a shot. All right, we're here at a spot that I already hit. I had only fished it with the nymph though. Let's see if anything in this pool is willing to hit a streamer. There we go. Got one. I knew we'd get one to finally take that streamer. I think this is going to be our last fish of the day here, folks. Pretty little brown. Can't go wrong with that, guys. Absolutely smashed that streamer. A lot of heart for a little guy. Just shows you how hungry these stockers really are. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day here on Kettletown Brook, and what a day it has been. I mean, just a stocker slugfest. You know, undoubtedly I'm going to have to cut out many of these catches just so that this video is of a reasonable length, but there had to have been a good 3 dozen fish. I mean, those kind of numbers are just crazy. Truly a stocker slugfest, and it has been a blast. Now, again, Does this sort of trout fishing take an enormous amount of skill? No. But is it fun? You bet your ass it is. And for that matter, you know, in the earlier days of the season like this, a great time to bring out kids to ensure that they get on some fish. You know, if, for example, you're maybe giving fly fishing gear a first try this year, this is a great opportunity to get out there and work on the techniques that you're going to need as the year progresses. But just in general, if you're looking to have fun catching some trout, you can't go wrong getting out there right now, guys. Even though it's March, even though it's cold as hell, the temperature I don't think has risen above freezing all day. But as you can see, that is not stopping the fish from feeding. Anyhow, I'm gonna stop talking, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up right now. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you like what I'm doing out here, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.